Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Casual Leader Podcast, the show dedicated to the real practical business and leadership talks, minus the buzzword and the corporate cliches. I'm your host, and today we're diving straight into the challenges we've all been facing these days in one way or another: chaos. If you're overwhelmed right now, you're not alone. In the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be looking at how to cut through the noise, take back control, and lead on your own terms. We'll be packing a lot. And just to recap high level of what's happening today in the world, Google just laid off 12,000 employees, and Intel is following their lead as well. Our new global economic strategy poses a very interesting question. Have you tried unplugging capitalism and plugging it back again? AI chatbots are demanding union representation after being forced to write way too many college essays. And no, not the AI powered by the workers in the Philippines that Nate.tech was using. Our tech billionaires are racing to colonize Mars because Earth's vibe is just a little bit off lately. And our US new leadership is basically playing musical chairs every week with their policies. But no, we're not going to get political in this podcast. No. However, we will be touching on how the market is changing, ergo, changing your job or your way of working and your life at some point, sprinkling just a little bit more uncertainty and anxiety in the mix. Considering where we are today, there's no surprise, it's absolutely total chaos. But if we dig in everyday life, that macro chaos seems to be trickling down into making every day a fun day. And as we all know, it's an employer's market right now, so the companies can afford to put pressure on their employees and demand more for less. The investors are all about the brand new shiny toy, AI, leaving the rest of the companies to fend for themselves, and yet 5 in 5 people that I'm talking to either cannot wait to retire, are literally counting the days to retiring, cannot wait to quit their jobs and move to the mountains, raise goats and sheep and cow and chickens. They're fun. Or take that leap and start their own business because they had enough. If you wake up, check emails first thing in the morning, handle an urgent crisis by 9 a.m., have rushed back-to-back meetings until 1 p.m., and then another crisis pops up just in time for lunch, and suddenly it's 6 p.m. and you haven't even started to work on the things that you plan to do. You might as well do it all for yourself. Don't get me wrong, there are corporate jobs that come with amazing personal and professional career development. Just look at Tim Cook. But do you really want to wait so long? And let's face it, there's only one Apple company in this world. It's exhausting, right? It's tiring, guys. But guess what? There's a way out. And today we're going to be covering the no BS way to regain control, find clarity, and actually take the lead instead of just dealing with the chaos that's being thrown away at us. Right. So let's get started by unpacking where chaos really comes from. Chaos isn't just from businesses or external factors. It's a state of constant reaction, lacking any sense of direction or purpose. It feels like you're constantly spinning your wheels without making meaningful progress. Like you're running as fast as possible without ever getting anywhere. And sometimes you just feel stuck in the loop of waking up, dealing with a job you don't like, and before you know it, yet another month and year has passed. So instead of complaining about the way things are and letting life pass by, let's start doing something about it, shall we? First, critical step: communicate clearly. Chaos thrives in confusion. The clearer you are about your expectations and what you want out of life, the smoother things will run. Miscommunication often triggers chaos for you and for others around you. So ask yourself, what do I want? What exactly makes me happy or unhappy in my current role? Am I being as clear as possible? Could a new team member easily understand my instructions and what I'm trying to do? Clarify your goals, responsibilities, deadlines, and expectations. Write down clearly what you like about your current role and career path, your company, your job, and what you would like in an ideal world. In interviews, I always ask potential team members if they could have a magic wand and just design their ideal perfect job. There are no restrictions, no limits, no guidelines, money is no objection. What would that ideal job look like? And you'd be surprised how many people haven't thought about it and how many people that thought about it answered. And guess what? Guess what's the percentage of the people that already thought about it and got the job? So don't be afraid to write down clearly what is it that you want, what works for you today, and what doesn't. Make it so simple and clear that even an 80-year-old will understand. Personally, I thrive when I have autonomy, as I'm great at self-managing, organizing my day and schedule, creating a new order from chaotic situation. That's actually my jam and my favorite thing, and making sure I spend time where it matters. So I know that certain things will work for me and others won't. Plus, I've always been business and engineering focused, which is a great combo to have when you're not in the corporate world. Don't get me wrong, I could work in a corporate world 100%, worked before, done it before. But it won't give me a sense of progress and fulfillment that I want in a life. Does that make sense? Now, we're here to support you if you want to take a leap and go off on your own. But before you actually are thinking about that, about becoming an entrepreneur, I would suggest taking our little quiz or skip forward to the next step if this is not for you. That's completely fine. If you are in for the quiz though, here it goes. Open your notes on your phone or take a piece of paper and pen, if that's more comfortable, and answer yes or no to the following questions. We recommend to just write the number of the question with a Y or an N next to each of the questions to get things going a little bit faster. There are 13 questions in total. Ready? Here we go. Have you set aside enough to take care of your bills, rent, or mortgage, food, and just living expenses for the next 6 to 12 months? Have you tested to see if there is a market for your idea or your business outside your friends and family? Don't get me wrong, we love our friends and family, but man, they're liars sometimes. You cannot build a business only with the friends and family feedback. Trust me on that. Okay, next question. Do you know what skills are required for your business to succeed? Do you know what skills are missing? Do you know what would be the cost of starting? So for example, if it's a physical product, do you know what would be the manufacturing cost? Do you know what's your vision and selling strategy for your products or services? Do you have a growth mindset? Do not underestimate having a growth mindset when you start a business on your own. Are you okay with juggling multiple things at once? Being customer support, marketing, CFO, COO, all of the roles. Are you okay with working on weekends? Or what about taking meetings during holidays, or just replying to emails, or just skipping those holidays altogether? Do you have an exit strategy? Have you done a fear setting exercise? Are you okay with no such thing as a work-life balance? Because spoiler alert, there isn't one. And the last question, and my absolute favorite. If tomorrow is your last day on earth, are you okay with the fact that you didn't take the leap and just went for it? I know that last one is a doozy. It's always interesting to see what feelings pop up when we're thinking about our mortality. But if you have at least 6 yeses on the above questions, guess what? You're ready. Buckle up. You're in for the ride of your life. If you have just a couple of yeses, I'd say just go through each of the questions and start by working on what you need to have at least a starting point. Shameless plug here. If you want to start your business, but you can't fully outline it, you're not sure what the vision is, strategy, tactics, execution, and you're a little bit overwhelmed on the amount of information out there and not sure where to start, like what's the actual starting point, give our startup blueprint a look. We'll have it linked for you in the description. In the startup blueprint, we provide the building blocks for you and your business to have a strong foundation to be set up for success before going into the world. That being said, if most of your answers to the quiz are no, that's completely fine, and the next step should help bring you at least some sort of order in your everyday life. Whether you're ready to take the leap or just trying to survive this season of chaos, clarity needs to be your first lifeline. So now that you have clarity on what you want and what you need, it's time to make time in your life for it. Yes, pun intended. The second step, prioritize ruthlessly. The big mistake that we make when being overwhelmed and when chaos happens is just going where we're being pulled towards. But here's a tough truth. Not everything deserves your immediate attention. So, are you ready for the second exercise? Right now, grab a piece of paper or open your notes on your phone and list every single task that is weighing you down right now. Just a big old brain dump. Next, categorize these tasks into 3 piles. Must do today, important but can wait, and nice to do. Make sure you prioritize yourself first. And I know it's easier said than done, but trust me, once you build the prioritization muscle, it will become a second nature and it will be worth it. And there's a reason why some people can do more with the same 24 hours that we have in the day. We have multiple prioritization frameworks for businesses, which we can go into at a different time. But in a nutshell, to start with, just start with these 3 main categories. Must do today, important but can wait, and nice to do. It will make a difference. Now that we made sure we communicated clearly what we want and we prioritized our days accordingly to fit what we want, the next step is to cultivate a calm mindset. And I cannot stress enough how important this step is. We cannot discuss chaos without addressing mindset. Chaos is as much about your internal state as it is about your external environment. Leaders who thrive amidst chaos often have practiced staying focused on the solution and maintaining perspective. Keep your eyes on the solution in the moment and later on the root cause of the problem. But maintaining a calm sense under pressure is not as easy. And this is where a lot of the time high levels of cortisol and stress come in. Emotional regulation matters greatly for leaders, especially in chaotic environments. And there's a reason why in the military you are trained under extreme conditions to help, people get used to the discomfort and the chaos in situations. You're basically going to have to do the same. Train your mind to stay calm under pressure, which will also help you with the stress reduction over time. I'll never forget my first incident as a software engineer. When you're not the most senior person working on the project and you get pinged at 3 a.m. with an absolutely horrendous, and when I'm saying horrendous alarm, that you think the end of the world is near, but still you're half asleep in panic mode and you stumble out of the bed, grab your laptop, join the call with the incident and start debugging to start figuring out what caused the downtime. It's an absolute mess. For those of you unfamiliar with what downtime is, it's when a platform basically doesn't work. Let's say if you're trying to use Netflix and there's an error that indicates Netflix is down. As an engineer, there's a lot of pressure to figure things out very fast, as every minute usually means millions of dollars lost for the company, especially if there's a core product. For example, if Netflix as a service is down, normally 3 things happen. 1, users can go to the competitors. 2, new users cannot create an account or maybe renew their subscriptions. 3, it's all over the news, compromising the company's reputation and brand. And God forbids if you have investors to report to. Your first 3 a.m. incident, tornado-like alarm, is absolutely terrifying. But with time and experience, you get used to, and you know exactly what needs to happen and how to operate under chaos and uncertainty. What I'm trying to say is that anyone can build a calm mindset. You can start with breath work, such as a box breathing exercise to set your body and your mind calm, and for your body and mind to get used to self-regulating based on breathing, and build it up from there. Headspace has a great collection of 3 to 5 minutes exercises to start with. And by the way, no, this is not sponsored in any way, although I wish it was because I've been using them since 2018. So it's about time. Finally, let's talk about sustainable routines. To permanently reduce chaos, you need to build long-lasting routines around prioritization, clear communication, and mindset management. It's not a one and done type of situation. You need to keep at it. And this is where routine building comes in handy. For example, on Monday mornings, I usually go through my calendar, my to-dos, my Slack, my emails, and start prioritizing what must be done in that week, what's a non-negotiable. And it needs to align with what I really want to get out of the week. That will take me one step closer to my clear wants and needs. If that means that certain things need to be pushed back to the next week, then so be it. Then focus on what matters and move the needle and prioritize ruthlessly. And then throughout the week, I do have time slots where I take 5 minutes here and there for breath work so I can have a sharp, focused mindset. I also have a few workouts scheduled 3 to 4 times a week. And I do one thing that gets me out of my comfort zone to keep cultivating that calm mindset. And it needs to be out of my comfort zone from a business perspective. It does not help me if I'm going to jump out of an airplane. I need something that I can build on, such as a new business domain, a new tech problem, a new management issue. Trust me, these strategies, prioritize ruthlessly, communicating clearly, cultivating a calm mindset, and building them into a routine can transform your experience as a leader, as a business owner, and even as a human being. In the midst of chaos, we're all going to deal with it at one point in our life. They are simple and yet overly tested and practical, and you just need to keep doing them. To quote Nike, just do it. If you ask me, I believe we're at a very interesting intersection when it comes to it. It doesn't seem that things will get any less chaotic anytime soon, so might as well be prepared. All right, that's a wrap. If you leave with anything from this episode, there's always something that can be done to bring order in the midst of stress. But being clear on your wants and needs and being strict with your time based on your priorities will eliminate a lot of the unnecessary stress. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you have any chaos-related story? Or maybe you're going through some chaos right now. What helped you during chaotic times? Let us know in the comments below and let's get this conversation started. And maybe we just might be able to help. Also, don't forget the classical like, subscribe, follow, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the upcoming episodes. We have tons of interesting subjects. Plus, join our community on our website or our social media. The website is thecasualleader.com and we have the same handle pretty much everywhere to keep the leadership flowing and to connect with fellow casual leaders just like you. For any resources, toolkits, guides, feel free to check out our website, thecasualleader.com. And until next time, keep being you, lead authentically, and remember, everything starts with you. Start casual, keep going, keep growing. Bye!